There might be a 5-star read in this video. You know when things are too good, you just feel like, okay, well, what's gonna happen? I'm a little bit stressed. Called it. I said it. I said things are too happy. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray and today's video is going to be a reading vlog. We have a book that I think is a perfect fall read. It's got witches, it's got powers, it's fantasy, and then we also have a romance with a lot of depth and a lot of character development and just a lot of good stuff in there. And there might be a 5-star read in this video. So go grab your current read, grab a drink, and come hang out and read with me. This is the 4th book in the Pacific Shore series. I read the 3rd one in my last reading vlog just to kind of give thoughts about the book without spoiling anything in it, because again, it is the 4th book in the series. The way that we left off in the 3rd book, we knew what that ending was going to look like, and the tone of this book is so different from that book. The events that happened that led up to the ending of the last book, in no world were any of the characters going to be the same after that. And if you don't know what the series is, this is the Pacific Shore series by Sarah A. Bailey. There's 4 books in the series. This one actually comes out on November 4th. It's currently, oh my gosh, it's November 1st. I was reading the arc, but this actually showed up at my doorstep. I had pre-ordered it a while ago and it showed up yesterday. I have been reading the physical copy now. This is the 4th book in the Pacific Shore series. The first one is Heathen and Honeysuckle. The second one is Wicked and Wildflower. And the 3rd one is Reckless Roses. The tone of this one is definitely very different from the other ones. And even this book and the last book, it's a lot heavier, and I feel like you're just getting more character depth, getting to see these characters in such different lights and how they handle the trauma that they went through together. And we also get to see the characters from the other books in this story as well and how they're dealing with the trauma of what happened. It's so interesting because everyone's dealing with it so differently. But we have our main female character in this book. She's very emotional, but she's very good at hiding the way that she feels about things, and she has this hard exterior, but she's very, very broken on the inside, and it's very hard for her to be able to express things to people or communicate things to people because she feels very much so like she has to do everything on her own and she has to be on her own. So she's trying to be strong and put on a face for people, but she really is just feeling broken on the inside. And then our main male character in this book, he is very much so like he is communicative, but at the same time time. Like, he likes to lean on the people around him, and he likes to be able to figure things out and solve problems. So we have two people who are very different in the way that they deal with trauma and things like that, and it's just interesting seeing that different dynamic between them, because they're also two people who they get on really well and they grew up as best friends, and it's just been interesting to see how they're dealing with that on their own and together. I don't know if any of that made sense, but again, I'm trying to be as spoiler free as I possibly can with this series because I highly recommend it. I love the series. I'm just so excited to be getting these characters' stories from the end of the first book and into the second book. I knew that I wanted their story so badly just because of the way that they were in the friend group. It's just a little bit darker, their story, than the other characters that we got. Like, the first two books were a little bit more lighthearted. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that's still a little bit dark, but these characters have a little bit of a darker backstory that got them to where they are, and so it's just really interesting seeing them in this group because they were always a little bit more mysterious than the rest of the characters in the group. But I'm really enjoying it. Over 50% in. I really love the series, and I'm excited to get to the end, but I'm also reluctant because once it's done, it's done, and once the ending is in place in here, like, that's the ending that I have to stick with. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guessing of what's gonna happen. This is done. It's done after this, and I don't get to be a part of this world and a part of these characters' lives anymore, so it feels just kind of crazy, but I am excited to see how it ends and where we're going. I mean, I'm just hoping that she's gonna randomly announce a little novella post this with like all the characters and what they're up to later in life or 10 years forward or whatever it might be. So these are two very, very emotional characters. They have so much depth to them, and there's so many things about them that make them feel so raw and real and authentic, and that's what I love about her writing, is that she can really make characters feel like real people in the world. And what I love about our female main character is Sarah A. Bailey, who does a really cool thing where she puts in references and things that she enjoys in her everyday life, and the character in here kind of has a little bit of things like that. Like, she'll randomly mention Vanderpump Rules is on, or The Real Housewives and all of that, and so the main female character is a writer as well, so it's just cool to see because I feel like when I'm reading parts about her writing process, it's actually Sarah A. Bailey who that's her process and things that she's thinking. I could be totally wrong. It might not even be connected, but I feel like we're getting to see parts of how she feels as a writer in this character, and so that's really cool. I love when authors put little bits of themselves into the characters so that you get to feel connected to not only the characters but also the author as well. So that's my update right now. I'm just gonna get back to reading. Did end up getting to chapter 34 yesterday of my book. There's 378 pages total. We're on page 308, so we have about 70 pages left to read, which I should be able to get done today. It's Sunday, so really I have to get it done today because I work during the week and I don't have as much time during the week to read. We're gonna sit, we're gonna read for a little bit. I did make a matcha this morning. What I love about this book is that at the beginning of each chapter, under the chapter titles, Sarah A. Bailey, she has songs that inspired the scenes or that maybe she was listening to while she wrote the scene, but she's got songs. So I tried it for the first time where I don't typically listen to too much music while I'm reading. Sometimes it's either white noise or brown noise, or just if I really want to listen to music, I'll put it, but obviously it takes me a little bit longer to read when I have non-instrumental music playing. And so she has songs at the beginning of each chapter, so I did play it for one of the chapters, and it really just puts you into the scene and the vibes and the mood and the atmosphere, and it was a really cool experience. Anyways, I recommend, if you're able to, putting on the songs while you're reading the chapters, even if it's just listening to it once throughout before you get into the chapter to get your head in that mindset. I thought that was really cool. It just made the experience of the chapter a lot more intense, I would say. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read. I'll update when I'm probably done in the book because I don't think I'll have anything else to say until I'm done. Let's get to reading. cutesy right now, and I'm just worried that something big is gonna drop on us, but I'm hoping they just all get their happy endings and we can just move on and wrap up the series nicely. But you know, when things are too good, you just feel like, well, okay, well, what's gonna happen now? Like, what's gonna happen? So I'm a little bit stressed, but like everything's really fun and cutesy right now. So hopefully it just stays that way and the characters all get their happy ending and everyone's happy, but there's still like 8 chapters left. So quite literally anything could happen at this point. All good vibes right now in the book. Something was going to happen. I knew a wrench was going to be thrown in at some point. I called it. There was this secret that I just thought the book was going to end and we weren't going to explore that secret or within the friend group or whatever it might be, but that secret just came out, and now that kind of just threw a wrench into things a little bit, and I'm just curious how the friend group is going to deal with this that just came out. But also, like, another thing just happened after that. We just got a little wrench thrown into things, which is what I was expecting to happen. I called it. I said things are too happy. I'm so curious how this is going to be dealt with. It's been a couple days since I finished Vice and Violet, so I thought, why not sit down, tell you my thoughts about both books, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to start with A Tempest of Ravens by E.A. Bird. I read this book when I was going away for a work trip, and it was kind of just like on and off, and then I got really busy with things like cleaning when I got back home and just getting reorganized. I didn't end up landing on a 4-star. I think I was going back and forth between a 3.75 and a 4-star, but I am just going to land on a 4-star for this book. I thought this was a very refreshing book in the fantasy romance genre. So the book is set in Scotland in the 1600s. We're following our female main character, Maeve, who has these very weird powers and haunting visions, and she's unsure of what it means or what it is. She's driven out of her village because people think she's a witch and that she's practicing witchcraft because she has all these weird things, like there's always ravens around her. So she's been driven out of her village. There's also this war going on and people are hunting down witches, and because they think that she's a witch, they don't like her. That's why she's kind of been chased out of the village. It's kind of a mix of romance, witchcraft, and survival set against a very dark backdrop. My only tip with the book is that at times our female main character Maeve could be a little bit overly negative about situations when it comes to herself and self-doubt. She's just very critical when it came to herself and being able to do things. She just didn't have the confidence in herself that I usually like to see in a female main character. But again, I think at the end of the day, you are your worst critic, and not everyone is always happy-go-lucky all the time. And I feel like in a way it was a real take on life. Not everyone is overly positive or overly confident, and I feel like a lot of people could relate to her character in that capacity, but at times for me it just got a little bit overly negative or maybe a little bit repetitive. But again, that's who she is as a character, so if she is that way, she can't just change from one chapter to the next. So I completely understand that side of it, but I just felt at times it was overly negative, the way that she would talk about herself or the way that she would doubt herself. But it was nice seeing her journey of growth and just self-acceptance in a way throughout the book, just because she was, like I said, she did have those moments where she was doubting herself a lot, and her MMC had a big role in her being able to kind of get out of that mindset a little bit and have some belief in herself. And so that was interesting to see. I liked the characters and their dynamic and just the found family of it all. I feel like the found family was really well done in the book, and I just liked the world building in general. I feel like it was very simple and easy to follow. The book did a really good job at setting the stage for the rest of the series because you got a really good look at the world and the characters and what was going on in a very simple and easy way to follow. One thing that I really loved about the book is the slow burn romance. I'm someone who, I don't even want our FMC and MMC to even breathe around each other until the 50% mark. I want the slowest burn. Like, I'm talking, don't even have your first kiss until the 80 or 90% mark. Like, I want to be left with the book ending where they just had a kiss and that's it, and then we have to get to the next book. Like, I am that kind of slow burn person where even if they didn't, I could wait 2 books in, I could wait 3 books in. I just love a good slow burn, and this book did exactly that. I feel like I've been reading a lot of books, and maybe it's because I read some romance lately, but I feel like I've been reading a lot of books where the romance is just kind of thrown in before the 20 or 30% mark, and that just kind of turns me off a little bit. I just find that a little bit unrealistic. The way that this book did their slow burn, I really enjoyed it. I think that it was well done, and I got excited. Like, I was so excited when they would interact with each other because I was like, is it going to happen now? Is it not? Like, I do think it's a perfect read for fall because it's got the witchy vibes to it. It's got the spooky vibes to it. I do think it's a perfect read for fall time. So I'm glad I read it when I did. And it did recently come out. Like, it just came out in October 24th or something like that. But it is the perfect fall book. And I think it's a good, quick read if you're looking for a fantasy romance that's not too heavy and that's kind of a little bit lighter and easy to follow. I think it's a perfect book to read. I really enjoyed that book. Landed on a 4-star. I think I am going to continue the rest of the series. And I might even have to get a physical copy. The cover's gorgeous. It's really stunning, and I think I do want to get a physical copy to have for my shelf because I do think I'm going to continue the rest of the series. Now, I did read this book as an arc, so I don't have the physical copy. I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was really good. Again, I read it over a longer period of time, so I feel like it was a little choppier in my head in terms of just keeping the storyline straight and together, but I really enjoyed it. Gave 4 stars. Okay, and then we have Vice and Violet by Sarah A. Bailey, and I've been talking about this series in my last couple of videos. I love this series so much, and I'm so sad that it's over, but Vice and Violet was so good. 5 stars. 5 stars. I think there was no doubt about it. For my last video, I told you that I think it's going to be a 6 star. 5 stars through and through. Vice and Violet is the 4th book in the Pacific Shore series, and it's the last book, and I'm sad that it's over, but I'm glad that it happened. We're following a couple from the friend group. We're following Elena and August and their story in this book, and the friend group just went through a lot of trauma from the last book, and there's a lot that was going on, so they're all trying to navigate their friendships and their relationships post-trauma and how they're going to be moving forward. There was a darker tone to this book at the start, but it was so real and raw, and the way that these characters were individually dealing with everything and how they came together to deal with it together as well. Seeing the individual characters and seeing Elena's story and August's story and how they're dealing with their trauma, they deal with things in such different ways, and it's just so true to people in the world going through something like what they went through. Personally having experienced something like that, I don't want to say what it is just because I don't want to spoil it. I don't think it would be a spoiler, but I'm just going to keep it as vague as possible. But going through what they went through, having the reactions they did, I felt a lot of what Elena was feeling in that moment and just wanting to run and hide and be away from everyone and not communicate. But then I also could feel August's side of things and just how he was dealing with everything. And he's just such a mature and communicative person, but they also are going through these dark things. Elena is someone who's got this very hard exterior. She's that way and that's how she presents herself for the most part, but she's very broken on the inside. After this trauma happened, she became just a little bit more broken on the outside as well as the story was progressing a little bit, but we found her piecing herself back together. Just seeing them as characters, like I said before, the friend group is the rest of the characters in the friend group from the other books, they're a little bit more, not like, I don't want to say positive because these two aren't negative, but they're more like happy go sunshine go lucky kind of thing. All been through stuff in their past, but these two characters are a little bit darker and they have a little bit more depth to them because of that. And so I really loved their story. I loved everything about it. I loved the way that we got the character growth throughout the story, and I loved the way that it all came together. Sarah A. Bailey did such a good job at wrapping up the series. I really do hope that we get a spin-off series of the kids in the book because I would love to continue to be in the world, even if we're not in the world of the characters from this book, but there are kids in the book, and so I do want to see, I hope that she does some sort of spin-off with the kids from the book so we get to still be in the Pacific Shores world, because I feel like I'm not ready to let it go yet. I'm glad that I have the books. I could always reread them, and I feel like going back and rereading the series again, I'm going to notice a lot more than I did the first time around. The book was so good. Like I said, I highly recommend this series if you haven't read it. One thing that I forgot to mention, this series is very spicy, but you won't miss out on the plot if you skipped those chapters. If you're someone who doesn't like an open door romance and you want a closed door romance, you could definitely skip over those chapters if you wanted to and not have to read that. If you're not into that, or if you are into that, you have the option to read it as well. She doesn't make those scenes the focus of any of the plot moving forward. Of course, the intimacy, it helps with that side of things, but at the end of the day, you will still get a good feel for the story and the characters if you don't like reading spice and you want to skip over those. A lot more authors need to be doing that. They need to be giving people the options to just be able to read them or not without it taking away from the plot. And I feel like she does that so well. Well done series. I'm really happy that I got to be there from the start when it was independently published and just seeing it traditionally published, and I cannot wait to see what's next from her. She does have a series before this one as well. I think I have them on my shelf. I have the independent published ones, but the Fate Philosophy and the Soulmate Theory. Now, I don't know if those are interconnected standalones, but I haven't read them, but I am so excited to see what she does next, and she is working on another series with her publisher now, and so I'm just so excited to see what's going to come next. And yeah, I can't wait. And actually, it's November 4th today, so Vice and Violet is officially out in stores today, which is also so exciting. I can't believe it's out in the world for everyone. Like I said, highly recommend this series. I couldn't say enough good things about it. She just gets better and better and better with every single book that she writes, and so I'm so excited to see what comes next from her. Really enjoyed that book. I enjoyed both books, actually. Those were really good ratings. I haven't had 4-star or 5-star books in a while. So yeah, those are all my thoughts, as chaotic as they were. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.